hate how I look.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in that Technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And Mr. Petty.
Clearly, I can't say it anymore. Thank you guys for joining us.
Am I not here?
Ain't that your blood?
God damn. Good morning.
So much for
I know.
5 minutes.
Exactly. And he threw me off. Hi.
My bad. I'm sorry. My bad.
I'm Rick Stroh.
Mr. 3850 over here.
Thank you all for joining us here once again on Blerds and Whiskey Live on Facebook as well as YouTube. We appreciate you guys joining us every week, 12 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for the consistent viewers, and we hope we get some more. We got a great show lined up for you. But first, as always, it is Blerds and Whiskey, so we can get to our drinks. Big Herb, what you got?
Well, I figured I finished off the last of this bottle. I got some JD Honey and Canada Dry Bold.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
I know Cam. I know Cam doesn't like the drink, so I mean,
me and JD Honey,
he frowns upon it.
I'm not judging you, but I'm judging you. I'll just keep it simple. Again, gin, cranberry juice, Tanqueray, and lime. A little bit of lime juice squirted in just to, yeah.
Vodka. It's vodka. I'm drinking vodka.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you shouted out there like that. I really wanted to get into one. We'll get into that later. But this week, I'm drinking Terramana. Just had to get some tequila, get some different things going. But I took some tequila, some ginger ale, a little bit of lemon juice. That's what we got.
Isn't that the Rock joints?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh, they got a show coming out?
Yeah, he has a show coming out tomorrow, I think. Yeah. Anywho.
No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Not at all. Not at all.
So,
all right, Big Girl, let's go ahead and get to these church announcements.
All right. So, first off, as always, we got to shout out the homie OTTV. Overtime Sims is on Roku. And also, you can check out Blerds and Whiskey on Roku channel on his Roku channel as well. We got to give a shout out to
real quick before. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But also special shout out to the homie because he actually has another business that he's actually doing a traveling studio. I saw him release that recently.
Ooh.
So he's doing that. Check out Overtime Sims on Instagram and Facebook. He's got some deals for you guys. If you need somebody, he's going to travel to you with his studio, so you can do a lot of stuff out there. So
we would plug all of his Instagram pages, but he has 14,000 of them, and we don't have enough time.
We got Trey was about to allude to this, but we had to save it for church announcement. We have to give a shout out to the young lady T Capri. She is a black DMV tequila. She's the first black liquor distillery owner in the DMV, I believe you said, Trey.
Yeah.
So she has her own tequila out, and apparently we can't get it because it's sold out everywhere. So we would have brought it on the show today, but she's sold out, so it must be doing very well.
Also some trying times.
Yeah. Also, we gotta give a shout out to the Bucks staff because the Bucks did win the Super Bowl last week. So yeah, just in case you didn't know who the actual staff of the Bucks are, you have Harold Goodwin, who is the assistant head coach. Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator. Byron Leftwich, former player, is an offensive coordinator. Keith Armstrong.
Hold on. Byron Leftwich, DMV legend, former H.D. Woodson Warrior, one of the greatest quarterbacks to come out of this area, is the offensive coordinator. So yes, that Byron Leftwich.
Yes. Also, Keith Armstrong is a special team coordinator. Now, we also got to give a shout out to the fact that it's very diverse because there were also two female assistant coaches. I can't even pronounce the first young lady's name, Morale Jadov. I'm not even going to butcher it. She's a strength and conditioning coach. Lori Lacoste, who is also a defensive line assistant coach. One other thing, I purposely left this out because I wanted to just get y'all's reaction to it. So apparently there was a streaker who went into the Super Bowl, and apparently he put a bet down to say that there was going to be a streaker in the middle of the fourth quarter. If he would have won, which he kind of did, he would have won $375,000. But because the actual booking, sports booking people found out that it was him, they didn't pay him out. So
yeah, that's good.
But yeah, move on. Yeah. Thought it was funny. All right, yeah, Bow Wow wants to join the WWE.
As what?
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Not saying that it's going to be good or anything, but he should be used to this. He's used to doing the fake Bow Wow challenge shit, so he could be a fake wrestler. So I mean, it's
to answer
don't ever use the F word.
To answer Cam's question, he's going to be the new Black Hornswoggle.
Basically. Google it if you don't know what it is.
Also, it wouldn't be the first time he got booed by a bunch of people in a stadium anyway. So,
yeah. So, wow. Okay.
So we're gonna move on to the next one.
We also have to go into. There was a loss this week of a dear friend of the show. Cam, you want to elaborate on that?
I'll go ahead and say he was a DMV legend. Anyone who's ever been to Otakon, Katsucon, AUSA, or any of the other local conventions in this area, who's ever been to Dealer's Room, and you see like loud music, strobe lights, little bit of smoke, your boy X was there, Xavier. Between him and the ice cold water guy, those are like the staples and cornerstones of any DMV convention going to. Like everyone knew X. He didn't sell he sold swords, we'll call them letter openers. Before it was legalized, he was selling bonds, so I called him paperweights or stuff like that. He, like I say, it was a fun dude. He's energetic, he is definitely like a constant there. And he would always remember you. Like this dude sees like thousands upon thousands of people, and if you cool with him, he remembers you and he comes by and you're just like, actually, my man. Like it's gonna be sorely missed. The next generation of Congoers are definitely not gonna experience X in the dealer room and everything that he bestowed upon us.
Good to you, X.
So, moving on, Last of Us just put out their casting this week. What you guys think about that one?
The Mandalorian is going to be everywhere. What's his name? Andy, and is it?
It's Pedro
Pascal.
My bad.
He's only been on what's his name? Game of Thrones.
Everything.
Mandalorian.
The movie we all hate.
I'm sorry, guys.
I think he's trying to get like a Thanos Infinity Gauntlet stone full of father figures so he can play.
And
I could comfort all the world's children with a snap of my fingers like this.
Oh God. But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. I love the Last of Us games. I've only played the first one and I've seen a little bit of a walkthrough of the second one. But it's definitely if you haven't played the first one, I advise you to go play it. It's going to be the first 5 minutes are going to make you cry, unless you're not human. It's going to make you boo-hoo. And then you got to spend the rest of this fucking horror game being terrified.
5 minutes. So, okay.
Yeah, I know how to.
No. I'm making note of it. Go ahead.
I hope they expand upon the story of the first one. I hope they do what they can as a show and kind of show you how Joel and Ellie lead up into this and what kind of makes them the people that they are. I hope it takes nothing from the second game. The second game is one of the worst gaming experiences I've ever had. And actually, Naughty Dog said that was their intention. So I hope they don't even touch the second game. I hope the series runs for like 4 or 5 seasons. So you get to the end of the first game and they don't even do the second game. The second game, yeah.
That bad.
Hope it just don't end up like The Walking Dead.
It does apparently what it needs to do.
It is a miserable gaming experience. It makes you feel horrible about yourself.
Damn.
It really does.
Well, speaking of going into the next, wow, that's just mind blowing. Okay, Gina Carano got fired from the Mandalorian this past week. What
Has
I
it-
mean,
has-
it should have
has
happened
it-
a long time ago.
Quick question: has it been 5 minutes yet?
Oh yeah, we way past. Yeah,
We're good.
All right. So Gina Carano's definition of the corporate version of "fuck around and find out." Now, I want to take a quick second to talk about everyone's big complaint, or their big complaint is free speech is being trampled on as this whole thing, blah 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 blah. Here's the thing that no one ever took, any type of social studies or government class or anything like that to understand, or probably even read the Constitution to understand that freedom of speech is the government not infringing on what you can or cannot say, not independent companies or social media acts or stuff like that. So when people like Gina Carano say things like reckless, and yeah, it's a personal opinion. Cool, you can have a personal opinion, but when you are a public figurehead or a public representation of a company, you can't say certain things. And she did, and she doubled down on it, and then she got fired. Pretty much, if you claim free speech, then you want no one to say anything to you, then I advise you to go to any cashier at any retail store or bartender and let them say what they want to say to you, and then not call the manager, and then see what your freedom of speech spiel is going to be like then. If not, then shut the fuck up, because you understand that the employee can't say what they can't say, and if they do, they're fired. So you do understand that.
exactly. You know what I mean?
Spoken like a true customer service legend right there.
Spoken like your actual post that you put up there too, Cam, because I thought that was very spot on. Because I mean, let one of us actually say something that could deem offensive to anybody. We will get canned quick, fast, and in a hurry.
That's-
First of all, it's just
Give it about 3 minutes.
yeah,
Give it about 3 minutes.
yeah. But no, all jokes aside, we can't even go out there and say wrong. It's just wrong to say this type of stuff.
Is it wrong though? Especially when they're wrong. Customers always right. Not in my
No. I'm talking about what Gina Carano was doing. I mean, like it was wrong. Like what you said was wrong. I mean, come on, just stop. You're not right in this situation. Just take your L and shut the hell up and move on.
Well, she's moved on to Ben Shapiro's web TV series.
I was just about to say, fucking Ben Shapiro will hire her, of course. Gina Carano is one of those stupid people who's running around talking about being an anti-masker and the coronavirus is fake. Meanwhile, you got people out here losing people every week. And also she's one of the people who why people like me have to realize, I have to come to terms with the fact that so I feel sorry for my people that work in education, that work in DC, because they've already pushed you guys back into the classroom. My heart goes out to you. I'm sorry. And then for a person like me who works in a different county, I have to come to terms with the fact that I have to go back into school on the 15th. Also knowing that I have yet to be vaccinated and the majority of my coworkers have yet to be vaccinated. Also knowing that I work in an area with very, very, I'm going to say, less fortunate people who don't have the option of being able to work from home or not send their kids somewhere so that they can go to work. So now you're going to have a stew of people playing Russian roulette with the COVID virus, which is what we've been doing in America the whole time with this whole virus, right? So we got to come to terms with that. It is mentally unnerving that somebody like her could say, oh, that they can do all this denial. They can say all of these dumb things. I'm not going to repeat what she said. If you want to know what she said, please go and Google it. She's a moron. But these reckless people can do these things. But then I have to, me and people who work in customer service and things like that, you have to suffer. There are consequences that we have to deal with that these people don't have to even acknowledge, right? I have a player a former player of mine. He texted me the other day telling me about how sad he is because he didn't get to play this season, but he had to come home because he's taking online classes because he had to get two jobs to help his family out during these times. His family is struggling that bad that he had to take online classes for the school that he's at, as well as get two jobs to try and support. Meanwhile, this dumb heifer can say these things and then gets immediately hired by another moron who just feels like it's okay to say what I want and I shouldn't be canceled because of freedom of speech. You people are idiots, and you need to be held accountable for everything that comes out of your mouth and everything that you incite, because you incite and you work up people who don't have the wherewithal or the knowledge or the ability to differentiate what you are saying to them.
Exactly.
Completely agree.
And kudos to you, Rick, because I know you could have went harder than that, but yeah, kudos.
Oh, we still got 45 minutes.
Do you know who you talking to?
I was about to say, the next topic we about to go into, like I said, give it 3 minutes. It's about to get dicey.
So yeah, we definitely, everybody here, majority of the people that are watching us right now, all feel that pain. They all feel the fear, the everything that you just said, and it's crazy that we have to do this. I wish we had a solution. Yeah, we're tired of it. Yeah, we're frustrated. I just want it to be over. But let's get into it. Let's get into the next one.
All right.
The social announcement is over. Yeah,
that was our last one.
Off.
Here we go.
Right, here we go.
All right.
So 30 minutes has passed.
Take the safety off. Take the safety off.
So on Friday, February the 12th, a movie premiered on HBO Max and in theaters, because a movie called Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm pretty sure, unless you've had exposure to African American studies, or your family was a part of the Black Panther Party, or was well in tune to things going on in this country in the late 60s, early 70s, around that time, most of you don't know who Chairman Fred Hampton is. All right? I implore you from the bottom of my heart, do some research, find out who this man is. I've watched Judas and the Black Messiah 3 times this week. I actually just now finished it before we started the show for the 3rd time. This movie is powerful on levels that a lot of people cannot even understand, right? I tell everyone to get a white friend. If you have a white friend, if you have a white associate, watch this movie. Share this movie with them. Get them to take it in. Don't let them turn a blind eye to it, right? I also implore you, get your children, get your friends who you know who don't really want to pay attention to this, or I don't want to acknowledge it because it's just too much for me. No. It is time that we get off of the fence, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for us to unite as a people and to pick back up the race that all of our ancestors who sacrificed, who gave their lives, they knew they were going to die. They gave their lives for the struggle that we have basically, we've had Black Lives Matter marches here recently. We brought attention to it. Yeah, we've been outraged. We have dropped the baton. We have dropped it, and we have to pick it back up and get our asses back in the race. It's called the struggle for a reason. It is hard. It is a fight. It is a fight. We are fighting for equality. We are fighting for our lives. We are fighting for our children's lives. We have to get back in the fight. There's no more putting your head in the sand. There's no more there's no more sitting on the fence. We have to get back into the fight. We have to pick up the baton of the struggle. It is our duty. It is our duty as our ancestors' creations to do this. Right? There's a character, the character that Lakeith Stanfield portrays in this movie. His name is Bill O'Neill, right? Bill O'Neill killed himself in '89. Don't really care, because Bill O'Neill is the person that set up Chairman Fred, right? He's the person, he was the FBI informant who was feeding them information, who basically got Chairman Fred killed, right? A lot of people walking around today who have this same skin tone, who consider themselves to be Black people, it's a lot of Bill O'Neills walking around who will sell your own people out for a couple $1,000s. And I need for people to look in the mirror. I need for people to look in the mirror and understand if you're a Bill O'Neill or if you are somebody who wants to be a Chairman Fred. Because we cannot continue to let things go the way that they are going. We cannot do these things, right? And I know some people looking at the show right now saying, I ain't no motherfucking Bill O'Neal. I ain't that. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. You know who you are. You know what you are about. Chairman Fred was 21 years old. He was 21 years old. And that monstrous cross-dressing idiot, J. Edgar Hoover, identified him as a bigger terrorist threat than Russians or Chinese in the 60s. In the 60s. Think about that. A 21-year-old man, who all he wanted to do is unite oppressed people in one of the most divided cities in America. And he was identified as a terroristic threat. All right?
That's what's going on right now.
We have to put aside all the bullshit. We have to put aside all the bullshit. We let so much separate us. We let so much keep us apart. We let so much interfere with us uniting. We have to put it to the side and come together as one people to push forward, to progress forward. We have to. I have so much to say, but I have other people on this panel, so I'm gonna step back for a minute. I'm gonna let you guys get your thoughts out.
It's totally fine. Your passion is needed for something like this. We know, and I kind of feel like you're talking to me a little bit because I don't like to imbibe a lot of content that reflects negatively of our people. But I've since the last one, I've already made a note to myself that I'm going to continue to keep imbibing and doing what I can to increase my knowledge, because this is an individual that I had no knowledge of. I didn't know anything about him because, once again, it's Black history that wasn't taught in our history. So I'm going to watch the movie. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I do thank you for that. I do want to make a quick comment. One of the comments on Facebook, Corey was saying we have to first bond together and support each other before we can ever ask anyone else to help. I don't think that's what he's saying, in my opinion. I think he's saying that regardless, we still have to bound. I don't think that's what Rick's saying. I think that Rick's saying.
Can I address that?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck that white savior trope. I'm not talking about a white savior trope. I'm not asking them for anything. I don't want their help. I want us to help ourselves. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Are you finished, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I seen the movie this week. I saw it on Friday night. Excellent movie. My thing that, because like Trey just said, this wasn't taught to us in high school. We didn't learn anything of they didn't even put like the Black Wall Street and others in Rosewood into the history books. We found that out I found that off of one of my teachers who actually she was like, look, this ain't in the books. I'm going to teach you this. I didn't even know anything about Fred Hampton until this Friday. All I knew is that Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield was making a great movie, and that's it. When I actually looked at this, and I was like, damn, this dude is actually getting like people are trying to take out a 21-year-old. Like, put yourself in that mindset at this point. At 21 years old, what were you doing? I know me. I was just trying to get drunk. I was just trying, because I was the legal age at that point. I was trying to go ahead and do all the reckless stuff that I want to do at 21. This dude had the mindset of a 40-year-old who's been through the struggle and is only 21. So, I mean, you're telling me at a young age, this guy already knew, look, I got to go ahead and put my head, go deep into this. I got to fight for my people. And if that means that I got to go ahead and do the stuff that's going to get me locked up or whatever, so be it. I recommend this to any other person out there. Go see this movie. We're socially distanced at this point. Go ahead and go get the HBO Max, because this one, I would have gave Rick my $15 whole for this movie. So, but I'm serious. Like, this is an actual really, really good movie. I recommend this to everyone. Check it out.
I'm gonna say something real quick. As you all know, I've made jokes about my upbringing and stuff like that, and I've occasionally told my mom I've thanked her for some of the stuff that she's taught me along the way as a kid. Like, I hated it as a kid, but as an adult, I can appreciate some of the stuff that I'm now privy to. And I also want to apologize to you all too, because as a friend who knows all this stuff or has had knowledge of this stuff or a deeper knowledge of this stuff, I've not shared any of this with any of you all. Like y'all are your mid-30s, and y'all just now find out about Fred Hampton, like stuff like that. Like knowledge is power, and also no longer with knowledge being power, sharing of knowledge is also part of the power too. So I will, like I said, take it upon myself to help you all or educate and spread some stuff out that I know of, and also to the internet too. It's history is always doomed to repeat itself, and like I made a mention, and while Rick was talking, Fred Hampton was labeled a terrorist by the government, and media believed it, and therefore he was perceived. Like perception as reality, so therefore he was perceived as a terrorist. So anything he said, whether it's the truth, whether you wanted to hear it or not, you received it as a terrorist rhetoric. That's actually what's happening right now with a lot of social media or BLM or anyone who's saying anything that goes against what the government or what quote unquote America has always been stood for. The fact that you're saying anything that's against racism or equality is considered anti-American. And the fact that the other people on the other side are claiming hardcore of American ideology, that racism is so ingrained in American culture that they think that if you go against racism, you're going against America. That has always bothered me to my core. And like people will consider BLM now a terrorist organization, Antifa a terrorist organization. If I say anything like of any rhetoric of any of that, they always assume like, oh, you're part of that terrorist ideology, or what are you, a socialist? I'm going to scroll down real quick, so give me a second, because Aaron LaGrange actually mentioned a book that you all should also take a look into, Assassination of Fred Hampton. It actually has more details about how the FBI has single-handedly pinpointed and disrupted and destroyed the Black Panther Party because they knew the potential of what it could do to disrupt the quote-unquote American dream. I'm going to go ahead and leave with that. Y'all can continue.
Real quick, just wanted to point out, of course, I'm looking at the comments and trying to keep up with that as well. Everybody in the comments on both Facebook as well as YouTube, please bear with us as we get through as much as we can in the limited amount of time that we have. But going back to, I was going to mention the book, yes. Corey says we have to start understanding. So as far as that whole, everybody being separate thing, I kind of sort of disagree. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack that. I agree that we do have to come together and become not monolithic, but we do have to get on some accord. There are a lot of different, like my family in particular. My family is fractured, like my cousin said earlier today. We're fractured, and we just got to get over ourselves. And to go back to what you were saying, Cam, as far as I can't blame you for not knowing what we didn't know. I don't hold you accountable for that. I do appreciate that you would tell us more. And I hope that this stuff like this keeps happening. This is why I'm changing my stance on not watching this stuff anymore, because I need to know these things, because I have a son and he needs to know about these things. So we do have to change our way of thinking as a collective, and we have to take the knowledge that we gain and pass it down, and we have to stop judging and looking at each other and being so separatist. We got to come together, point blank and simple.
So you know what's so disturbing to me also, right? There's a part where J. Edgar Hoover and Roy, random white guy who was the FBI agent that was a contact person for Bill O'Neill, they keep comparing the Black Panthers to the Klan, right? And they keep trying to say that, oh, they mean to sow hatred and they mean to sow violence into the communities, right? And all Chairman Fred preached was love and power to the people. That was the basis for everything that he was saying. But yet it was so scared. Black people uniting poor people was so terrifying to these white men that all they hear is hatred. All they hear is violence. That's exactly. Think about that though. Think about that in relation to nowadays, right? Right? You have all of these people who Black Lives Matter, all they've done is march and protest in the name of peace and love and equality. But to these, I'm gonna say it, to these pigs and to these politicians, they are a terroristic threat. Right?
Yep.
Right? We watched on the 6th of January as they stormed the Capitol, as they killed people. They were beating people. They were beating police officers down.
Mm-hmm.
When the Black Lives Matter protests were going on, the police were beating people down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But in these pigs and these politicians' minds, they see it as the same, and it's not the same. We have to hold these people accountable. We cannot let the status quo continue to be. We cannot. We have to inform ourselves. We have to educate ourselves. We have to take accountability here first and then expand outward. Right? We cannot just continue to let things be as they are. We cannot. We have to listen to these people. We have to call them on their shit. A lot of people were running around talking about when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got in office, everything is going to change, right? I need for everybody to pay attention to the fact that this man is backpedaling on most of the shit that he has talked about. He's already started it, and nobody has said anything. Everybody's just like, oh, we just have to give him time to undo it. No, we don't. No, we don't. Trump undid a lot of shit in his first couple weeks in office, right? And everybody just let it happen. Why? Why are we not calling these people on their shit just because they come at us smiling with a fucking rose in their hand? It's power to the people because the power lies in the people's hands. I need for everybody to understand these things. I need for people to be willing to fight and sacrifice for these things.
I mean, spot on. I mean, what else is there to talk about? I mean, because the fact of the matter that, like you said, Rick, this dude is only 21, and you're saying that he's potentially going to be more dangerous than Russia and China, and they're comparing them to the Klan. Like, seriously, dude? Like, I mean, and at this point, I mean, guys, go and watch the movie, but just do your research on Fred Hampton.
Do your research. Sorry, Herb. Do your research on your history. Period.
Yeah.
Stop. They're not going to teach you this in school. In school is a very watered down, edited version of what your history is. They only give us 1 month to
28 days at that too.
28 days.
So this is your Blerds and Whiskey history homework.
Yeah.
What they do is throughout most of the year they'll teach you that this is how it went. Pilgrims came to America. We had a big dinner. Some people didn't like the dinner. All of a sudden we were mad at people in red coats. We threw tea over a boat, and then we celebrated with fireworks. And then slavery happened. But after slavery, Martin Luther King ended racism. That's American history right there. They gloss over a whole lot of red in their ledger. So when we're saying look into your history, we really mean look into your history.
Exactly.
Because there are books, there are websites, there are several sources of information out there, encyclopedias that you can look into, that you can find out more than what the school is teaching you. Because if you go by what the school's teaching you, you're going to end up like Bill O'Neill.
So I got to say this, again, watching the comments. Aaron, I think I agree with you. He's basically said we got to read the books first and stop relying on fucking movies. I get that. Now, it may be me being soft with people, but I think that because of there are some people who just can't imbibe books. There are other options out there. So I'm not going to say don't watch the movie. I'm going to say watch the movie because that may be some people's introduction into this. It may be some people's way of getting into it. That's why media is so important. That's why what we're doing here is so important. So watch the movie, but go back and watch or get the book, get the audiobook. If you can't sit down and turn pages, just listen to it in your ear. We all got Apple's AirPods or something.
Amazon.
Or Amazon, whatever you have to do. Find a way to edify yourself with this information. And if it starts with the movies, watch the movie. So I disagree with stop watching the movies, but get in there and do it somehow.
Yeah.
But guys,
let's get all the information you can. Is basically what Trey's saying. So,
yeah, I mean, we just got to find a way to get stronger out there. We just got to find a way to increase our strength and make ourselves better. You know, but let's go ahead and move on.
Just like
to-
FNX Fit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phoenix Fit's a good one.
I was
No, I get it.
I was trying to softball it up there, but I mean, hey, if you want to increase your
So real quick. So in order to strengthen your fight in the struggle, you're going to need to get to the gym and work out and strengthen your mind as well as your body. You can strengthen your body by going to the Blerds and Whiskey.com webpage and clicking on our partners link and going to FNXFit.com. FNXFit.com has all of your needs. If you're trying to make a healthier lifestyle change, they have your whey proteins, your amino acids, your weight burners, your fat burners, your all of that stuff. You can get it. You can use our promo code FNXBlurs13 to get 15% off your purchases. Do that. Invest in your bodily health as well as your mental health. That's FNXFit.com. Use the promo code FNXBlurs13. Yes, I know that was a very monotone ad read. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, noted. Okay, so we're going to switch gears here. Speaking of Black Power, let's go ahead and get into our character of the week.
Character of the week. So, Black History Month on Blerds and Whiskey, and today's character of the week is Adam Brashear, also known as the Blue Marvel. Basically, he's Black Superman. Blue Marvel is one of the newer Marvel superheroes, about 2005-ish. He is part of the new crop of heroes who are getting a lot of traction right now. He was created by Kevin Graveau, who's also an accomplished screenwriter, comic writer, and a little bit of an actor himself. You might recognize him as the Black Werewolf from the Underworld series, which he actually co-wrote too. Adam Brashear, the Blue Marvel's origin, has been retconned into Marvel lore, so he's part of the 60s and the early boom of those superheroes, but he kind of had the back of the bus treatment to how he was portrayed. He is a Marine veteran of the Korean War. He was part of a project with a guy named Connor Sims, who later became the Anti-Man, basically a way to try to harness the power of the antimatter from the negative zone. Basically, they try to create a nuclear reactor which could harness both the matter and antimatter particles or energy. And when the experiment, exploded, basically, the Anti-Man became pretty much a being of pure energy, while the Blue Marvel, his ability was able to keep it more stable. So he's able to stabilize the antimatter. So basically, he became a nuclear reactor of the horizon itself in the form of a man known as Blue Marvel. So here's where it becomes interesting though. Blue Marvel, being a full-blown superhero, powers and everything else, the ability to save the world while working for the government. Keep in mind, this is the 60s, and like I said, he had the back of the bus treatment. He basically had a helmet that covered his entire face. And then there was a big battle where his helmet was damaged and part of his face was revealed. And then, of course, the public saw that it was a black man.
The sheriff is a nick.
They weren't too happy. So he basically was forced into early retirement. So it wasn't until modern times where he decided to basically answer the call of being a superhero and became the Blue Marvel once again, fully unmasked. So saying things like antimatter and stuff like that, no one really knows what that means. So let's try to break it down with superpowers. Basically, he has super strength. He's one of the heavy hitters of the Marvel Universe now. He's up there with Hulk, Thor, Hyperion, Gladiator, Namor, Sentry. He's up there with these heavy hitters. His flight also involves the speed and stuff like that. 9 vulnerability, energy manipulation and molecular manipulation. Basically, that's part of the antimatter thing. So he'd also have energy projection too from his eyes, hands, etc. Basically, he's Black Superman. I do think this character has a lot of potential for growth. I can see him in the MCU. I can see him in an animated MCU too. I can see him in video games. I can see this guy going very far. So it's really nice to see someone from the ground up, from my generation now, working on the character. So we salute you, like, share, subscribe. But I'm also going to throw this one out there in the comment section so y'all can go ahead and have a little fun with this. But let's try to do a Icon versus Blue Marvel meetup and see how that kind of goes into your head and see what that's like. Anyway, back to you guys.
Good.
We're back now. Okay. You said that he was the black super. You said he was the black Superman. I honestly think he's a little bit more than that. He is an amalgamation of a lot of different heroes rolled in one. He's got the smarts of Reed Richards as well as the powers of Superman, as well as the antimatter, and But I fucking love Blue Marvel. He's amazing.
He's one of those new guys. Brand new, 2008.
That's another example of how the government screws people over, because they definitely told him, "Oh, you're black and you're superpowered. Sit back there. Go sit down. We don't need you to."
The sheriff is. Let me stop. I'm gonna stop.
If you have not seen Blazing Saddles, you need to go check that movie out. It's a fucking classic. I love it. But yeah, he's we spoke about it last week. Of course, Amore is not here this week. She's out on doing some stuff. I don't know. But yeah, she's actually threw this out there for us to do the character of the week.
Shout out to Amore.
She still has the shot. That was named the alley oop last week during the show.
Yeah. Shout out there. But we were talking about him because it's possible that he could be making his first live action media appearance in the show that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, WandaVision, which is our next topic.
Should we do a spoiler alert?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Honestly, and I'll be the bad guy on this one. I wasn't really there's some good parts in this one, but I was a little underwhelmed considering what we experienced last week. I didn't have the same level of excitement that I had. Yes, I know it was toned down for obvious reasons, because they're going to build up, because now apparently we're going to have an entire hour episode for the next 3 episodes.
Yep.
So
does that include the end credits?
Mm.
This has to be the longest end credits I've ever seen on a TV show.
Yeah, I've never seen anything this long.
Oh my god! But yeah, so
we're all waiting for something to happen at the end credits.
yes.
Yeah.
10 years of that, we've been operating conditioned to sit there and watch people's names scroll on the screen. But so if you have not seen episode 6, pause us, go watch it, come back, because we're gonna talk about it. This week, of course, Wanda is getting. We're starting to get reveals and revelations to what we thought was happening last week. Like I'm a little less inclined to think that Agatha Harkness or Agnes is Agatha Harkness.
Agatha Harkness. Harkness.
I said Harkness. Harkness. Yeah. I said it.
Yeah.
I'm less inclined to think that she is who she is, because in the episode, Vision touched her and revealed her mind, and she didn't witch out. So I don't know.
I don't know. And the only reason why I say I don't know is because if you looked at everybody in that area, in that cul-de-sac, everybody was still frozen. And yet she was still able, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, Vision touch me. Oh, okay, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. I mean, no. She's still you still on the sus list. If we playing Among Us, you still sus. As far as everything else is concerned, yeah, I do like the fact that they brought Malcolm in the Middle, little TV show on there. Yeah, I think what's the name? Mephisto is this what's the dude's name? Damn it, what's his name? The brother. So
Quicksilver?
Quicksilver. Yes, I'm sorry.
How do you
I'm losing my. I think he's dressed up as Quicksilver in this one, because it's just dude, it's kind of sus to me.
The whole thing is sus because it's a sham. The entire premise of the show.
He's dressed.
No one is who they are.
Yeah, and even that too. Everybody was wearing the exact comic book costumes that they were wearing in the show.
And now you know how stupid some of that stuff looks in real life.
Exactly. So
I hope everybody who is calling for comic accurate suits, I hope you took that kick in the nuts right to the nuts this week, so that you can see how stupid that you sound.
Could you imagine Wolverine with this with
the yellow?
Yellow.
No. All right.
With the yellow and brown combination.
No.
The brown combination was better than the yellow and blue one.
The yellow and blue one. That I've always seen.
All right. So I'm about to be a little bit of a geek because I went to art school. So color theory works well on paper, but not in real life sometimes, or in high fashion sometimes, but not in real life. Which is why you see stuff in high fashion where they get away with certain color combinations that would not work in the real world unless you're going to a show, pattern. You know what I'm saying? So average day, everyday things that you see are not meant to be that super extravagant. So when I see costumes that are on, in comics, and the first thing that the fashion designer has to do is like, how can I incorporate what this is into real life? And then if you notice, the translation doesn't work well when they take the movie costumes and put it into comic books because it looks boring. So that's my take on why costumes don't always match.
So can I say something that I don't think any people, nobody's really said yet? I haven't heard anybody think about this. Does anybody else think Hayward is the Grim Reaper?
I wouldn't be surprised.
And he's an
I haven't heard it.
villain?
I haven't heard anybody say that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
So are we talking about the legit Grim Reaper, like the personification of death, or the Grim Reaper in the comic book where he's like the scythe to the hand and
the Marvel Grim Reaper, the Marvel character Grim Reaper? I feel like his behavior says underling villain to me, and the Grim Reaper has been an underling villain, and I feel like him.
He is Hydra.
I feel like him and Agnes are working together, and and so here's the thing, right? I know everybody keeps trying to say it's Mephisto and Mephisto, but here's the thing.
Or Nightmare.
Hold on. Marvel/Disney, what do they love more than giving fan service to their fans? Or what do they love more than that? Can anybody guess? Everybody, I'll give you all one guess. 3, 2, 1.
Money.
Thank you, Cam. They love money, right? Now, here's the thing: there are certain countries where movies cannot be shown because you have a depiction of the devil, or even talking about the devil or Satan in any form, right? So I feel like the main villain might be Nightmare, which is setting up for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It'll be Nightmare, but it'll be Nightmare having the personification, like having Mephisto's powers and all that stuff, just because they can't use the name Mephisto or Satan. It's plausible because they've shifted other characters to have other characters' powers, right? Because remember, Aldrich Killian was basically Obadiah Stane's son in Iron Man 3, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of feel like that's where it's going, and I feel like they'll pair Grim Reaper with Mephisto Nightmare. And that's where we're getting all this. That's where we're getting all this. Right. And that's where we're getting all this. That's where we're getting all this manipulation of this ultra powerful mental patient who should be locked away. Can't stand her ass.
So one thing I gotta point out is as Rick and I both attest to, like, we have no love for the Scarlet Witch character at all. Like
they don't.
I'm gonna tell you right now. There was a time where I read was it Cabal? The Cabal's the Illuminati then in the comics. Cabal, Illuminati, all of them. There was a think tank of people just sitting thinking like, all right, so Scarlet Witch, bullet to the head. She's not invulnerable, so bullet to the head. Like the only person who tried to stand up for her of all people for some reason, ironically, was Spider-Man. He's like, hey, you guys aren't killing type. You shouldn't. I bet you Spider-Man changed his mind now. No, but for real, like when it comes to Scarlet Witch, and I do agree, I think that she might, like as Rita alluded to last week, I think that she might end up being the big bad, which is why it frustrates me when I see people who try to empathize with her talking about some. Let's try to understand. She's nothing more than a tortured person. She's nothing more than a person who's having a mental breakdown. We've all had mental breakdowns. Yeah, but we all can't alter reality on a molecular level like she can.
Hey, Cam, I bet he changed his mind after this shit.
You hear Blerds and Whiskey do not have the rights to that page. So, real quick, wanted to say this. I'm looking at Fabiola's comment as well as True Kasami on YouTube talking about the credits. Has anybody actually read the credits individually to see if they reveal anything? I didn't get that deep into it.
So it's not the words at the credits, it's the graphics of the credits. Apparently the graphics of the credits are telling a story that a lot of people are missing. I'm working to try to put it together. From what I've heard, there are details to the multiverse inside the credits. And it's very, very obscure. And they say you won't be able to put it together fully until the last episode. So I'm working on it. It's
very Marvel of them. Attention to detail in Marvel is that's what makes us love this. But as far as it's just. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rick was spot on with this, like for real, because I mean, I did talk to Solani about this the other day. How as much as they come over there and say, yeah, give them hell. And I mean, like they say that those subtle little demonized words, if you want to say it is, they can't really play the demon in China. They can't play like these in these other countries and stuff because they just don't want to lose all that money coming to them. So yeah, supernatural depictions. I mean, you can't play those in different countries. So yeah, I would not be surprised. I just don't trust what's the name? I don't trust Pietro. I don't trust what's the name? Agatha. I don't trust the leader Shield right now. I don't trust that all three of them motherfuckers are sus to me.
Shield's not there.
No,
Sword.
I'm sorry, Sword. I'm sorry, man. That's just,
You know who else I don't trust? I don't trust Herb. There's a Herb on the show. I wasn't talking about you, Uncle Phil.
Oh yeah. Uncle, wow, dude, Uncle Phil.
Listen.
Yeah.
Y'all forget that. My recall is second to none. My ability to push shit back is amazing. So
what? Oh, Jesus Christ! No, it's funny you say you don't trust Pietro because, like, even in the comics, he was always like an ulterior motive type person. Yeah. So like, so one of the things they kind of alluded to or I guess dissuaded, in my opinion, I think it was like a red herring to kind of like slide a hand trick to me. But he already dispersed the whole concept of a multiverse per se, or the Fox franchise being introduced. It was a kind of a throwaway line that they threw away. It was a throwaway line that he mentioned about more leaning towards more of the Sokovia upbringing as opposed to the upbringing that they had in the Fox version of Quicksilver. It was a quick thing, but also I love like the little Easter eggs they threw in, like the word "kick-ass." They kept throwing a couple of times.
That was fun.
And there is a picture where you actually have both Pietros like side by side in the movie Kick-Ass. So I thought that was pretty funny too.
I did like that picture.
So funny story behind the scenes story. Evan Peters was replaced in Kick-Ass 2 because he was filming X-Men Days of Future Past, so he couldn't be in the second Kick-Ass. Most people don't know that.
It's kind of like one of those obscure comic book things, like that one movie where the Joker and Robin were in the same movie.
But you want to know? You don't want to know what's funny? Kevin Feige can do this. Do you guys know Kick-Ass is a Marvel character, right?
Yeah, he is.
It is.
You can bring in Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kick-Ass as an Avenger.
Not as an Avenger. No, maybe. No,
he's essentially Daredevil with sight.
He really is. He is.
No. Maybe as a new warrior. No, he can't be an Avenger.
Trey's about the nerd rage. He's about the nerd rage.
So
he's a man with fear.
So you mean to tell me that you think Hit Girl won't beat the hell out of Hellcat in a fight?
Come on, Trey. Come on. Think about it. Think about it.
Only because Hit Girl would actually be fighting
Black Widow.
He said Hit Girl versus Black Widow.
I think Black Widow would kill her. I think Black Widow would end her.
I was about to say Natasha ain't playing that game. Natasha put two in her skull.
Exactly. Like no, but just no. He could be a new Avenger, or he could be a new Warrior, something like that. But I don't see him being an Avenger, a full-fledged Avenger. He's just
hey, Rick, double tap.
It took them 60 years to make Daredevil finally a fucking Avenger. There's no way. There's no way they're gonna have another guy with fucking
quick question. Trey, I'm not trying to interrupt you. So your whole reason of argument that Kick-Ass could not be an Avenger is because of his weaponry?
No.
Because there's a guy on that team who is still fighting like it's the 16th century. Like,
okay, I'll put it to you like
this.
There's
alien invasion, and he's
I'll put it to you like this. I'll put it to you like this. If they make him an Avenger before they make fucking Night Thrasher Avenger, I'm done with fucking Marvel. How about that?
Listen.
I was never a fan of
at least
with, though.
At least Kick-Ass has powers. He's got dead nerve endings. Hawkeye can just see real good.
And also